Show sponsored by leavetheplantation.org. The little technical glitch a little while ago, I taped a conversation with my vice president in this room, which is my bedroom, and we showed my bed unmade up. I apologize for anybody that saw that and was horrified by an unmade bed. That's what happens when you downsize. I downsized from Missouri to move to Florida, and now I have no place to put my equipment, so I broadcast from my bedroom. So sorry about that, folks. Now to the show. Leave the Plantation sponsors the Mason Weaver Show, and I appreciate it if you show your love by going to the site leavetheplantation.org and look around and join and get the on the mailing list. We got some great news on this site, and today I'm going to talk about two news articles from Leave the Plantation, and one is very dear to my heart. This first one is very dear to my heart. As you guys know, I spent a lot of years in California, and in California we had these Indian casinos that everybody loved to go to because the cigarettes were cheaper, the wine was cheaper, the food was cheaper, the hotels were cheaper, and you got to gamble a lot going to Las Vegas or Tahoe. I saw a problem with that. I saw a little problem with that. First, why only Indians could have a casino? Didn't seem logical to me. Why only Indians? Why couldn't I and my friends open a casino and get licensed? You could have card rooms, you have bingo parlors, why you had horse tracks, but why only casinos were for Indians? I did not understand that. And I asked a question around as a young politician, why is this only for Indians? And the story I got was really simple. Mason, the white man treated the Indians so bad that we're paying them back by allowing them to have a casino. Really, I'm not white. My ancestors never treated Indians badly. And even if they did, are you saying that the government will allow a group of people to have a monopoly on business based on their skin color? Are we really saying that in America you can have a monopoly because how the government treated you? A monopoly, not a payment, not reparations, but a monopoly to making billions of dollars based on your tribal history. That didn't make any sense to me. See, in case some of you haven't noticed yet that I'm black. I've been black all my life. As I said, sometimes in Berkeley I was called a Afro-American, but I got over that. So you have I'm a black man, and my ancestors were treated pretty badly by white folks also. So if you're giving up monopolies, we picked cotton for hundreds of years here. Can I have Fruit of the Loom? I want the. You can have Hanes. Okay, I got it. But if you're going to repay people, you see how stupid that is? How crazy that would be if you're going to repay black folks by giving us a monopoly. We're going to have I don't know what else black folks do. Do we gamble? I don't know. What do we do? That's crazy. But here in California, now in Florida here, they had this bill in Florida that the great governor DeSantis had a compact with the Indian tribe here, and it's going to raise billions of dollars in tax dollars. Follow the money, billions in tax dollars to have these casinos and not casinos. They already got casinos, but the sports gambling. Folks, you're grown. If you want to go and gamble on a sports team, great, do that. But why can't I? Why are you going to restrict me? I'm a taxpaying citizen of the state of California. Why can't I open a business? Why is that I'm restricted? You see, folks, a casino is not just a casino. First, they don't pay taxes on nothing they do in a casino. So if they have a casino and a hotel, and you got a hotel down the street, their rates could be lower than yours. The food could be lower than yours. People will shop on your casino because there's no taxes on the casino. And people say, well, Mason, they're a sovereign nation. Stop the garbage. Stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense. Because they're not a sovereign nation. If they were a sovereign nation, you would need state permission to have a casino. I mean, Mexico don't ask state permission to have a casino in Mexico. They're not a sovereign nation. If you go on the Indian reservation and commit a crime, you'll be arrested by the state police, the highway patrol. They patrol the Indian reservation. I went on one often in Arizona. The reservation in Arizona crossed the border into Mexico. Part of the Mexican country was part of that reservation. So how do you think the illegals came through into America? Right through that Indian reservation on Highway 8, going into Tucson and Phoenix. But they were sovereign. When you go to that Indian reservation, that sovereign nation had U.S. courts. They had welfare from America. If you got arrested, you went to an American jail. So the nonsense that Indians are on a reservation and they're a sovereign nation is only when it's convenient to be a sovereign nation. You're dependent of the United States when you need the United States. So don't say that you're a sovereign nation, because if you're a sovereign nation, you'll be free to have a casino anywhere you want to have one. But they use this sovereign nation stuff to be convenient. Now in San Diego, California, they want to have casinos off the reservation to compete against hotels and other facilities in San Diego and California. It's nonsense. Let's declare the Indian Wars over. Let's declare peace. I mean, folks, we fought hard in Japan and in Europe in World War II. When peace was declared, we rebuilt Japan. Instead, you put Indians on reservations, which is really nothing but a ghetto. We have alcoholism and low unemployment because ghettos only vote certain ways. If you want to bring prosperity, there are Indians, there are tribes who are not on reservations, and they're prospering. But whenever the government manages anything in your life, it's going to be worse. So you have poor Indians, so to grant them money, instead of letting them be economically free, you give them casinos and then they pay off people. There are families in California making tens of thousands a month off casino money, not doing anything. Why are we trying to separate and segregate citizens from each other based on abuse? So I was really happy when the state came up, when the federal courts came up and said no to this Florida thing. On our site, Leave the Plantation, there's an article. Federal judge throws out Florida sports betting compact with Seminole Indian tribe. A federal judge handed Governor Ron DeSantis and the Seminole tribe in Florida a sizable defeat by overturning the state's gambling compact. The rules late last Monday by Judge Debbie Fredericks struck down the state's $2.5 billion deal with the tribe. Folks, a lot of money in poverty. The income to the state was $2.5 billion on this deal. At the same time, they were going to restrict other sport gambling groups to come in to Florida. You could have folks from Las Vegas come in. You cannot have folks from Branson from coming in, or folks in New York. Only Indians here could have a casino for sports gambling. So that's crazy. You don't have that. No other kind of business industry are you restricting other folks from competing. So the federal judge said, this is crazy. He threw it out. So now they're going to put it on the ballot. There are petitions around here for people to sign to bring in outside sports betting. And the Seminole Indians spent millions on ads. I saw an ad every 2 minutes said, we can't let outsiders come in and take our money away from us, from Floridians. Get the money here. Don't sign the petition. Don't sign the petitions. Don't sign the petition. Keep this reservation money coming to us. We'll pay taxes to you. Yeah, it's kickback, it's called. So I support Ron DeSantis at 100% of what he's done, except this. And also this Juneteenth thing they're trying to make a federal holiday. another story. But why? Where did the idea come from? What the idea of casinos having even a casino on it in the reservations? Here's where it came from. First, the guilt trip of white folks. You guilty white people are really a problem in America right now. You got to get your act together. You got to stop being apologetic, man. Come on now. Join the crowd. But what happened to you white people? What happened to the Vikings? Man, didn't take crap from nobody. What happened to the conquistadors? Will someone please let me know what happened to the Roman legions? bold, bad behind folks, man. What happened to you guys? You're apologetic now? You let folks shame you on what your granddaddy did? Get over it. Get over this mess. Stand up for who you are. Stand up for the best culture this world has seen in hundreds of years. Stand up for what you have done in this world, on this planet. Stop. Stop apologizing. Stop it. You're now sitting right here now. You got reservations. What happened? They had since the Indians had sovereignty, the government had announced that they had no control over what happens on reservations, which is odd because you had patrols, you had judges, you had courts on these reservations, United States courts. So the history of Indian government dates back to a couple named Russell and Helen Bryan. Almost 50 years ago, the county of Itasca, Minnesota, attempted a levy, a property tax on their home, which is located in the Chippewa Indian Reservation. So they had a home on a reservation, and the state wanted to tax the home. So the couple felt that the county was to tax their home. And the couples felt that the county had no authority to do so. We're on a reservation. This is not government. You keep saying it's sovereign nation. So they say we're not going to pay taxes on this. This is a sovereign nation. Like tax me for my house in Mexico. Can't do that. So after appealing the courts and being shut down several times, Russell and Helen finally got a judgment in their favor from the U.S. Supreme Court. So it didn't all end there. Justice Brandon ruled that the states lack jurisdiction to regulate any activity on any reservations. So no jurisdiction, right, Your Honor? But we're going to pay for the highway patrol to patrol it. We're going to pay for the courts of Indians who got drunk and hit a tree on the reservation. We're going to take them to court in a state court. That makes sense, Your Honor? Are you saying that there's no jurisdiction, but we got to put our if they ever get invaded, we're going to put our troops to defend them? So they're only independent and sovereign when it's convenient to be independent and sovereign. I got it. So the state lacks jurisdiction to regulate any activity on any reservations. The Seminole tribe located in Florida was the first to bite. Their chief approved the construction of the high-stakes bingo facilities, giving Florida fairly restricted gambling laws. It's no surprise that players from around the area fell in love with it. Games were open 6 days a week, and other jackpots were larger, and they went crazy. So this one is all started about 50 years ago. And now we're down to the point where the Indians have jurisdiction, authority, but we got protection of them. So I'm glad that this judge threw out this agreement with the state. How can the state give a race a monopoly? Can you explain to me the legal, ethical background to allow that to happen? The state, what are they going to give the Italians a monopoly on pizza? Are you going to give the Orientals monopoly on Chinese food? Are you going to look at Germany and say, oh, you can have beer? What is the logic behind giving a monopoly to a race of people or any group of people? How can you tell any group, Christians can only have this, Baptists can only have that, Black folks only have this? The government would love to have that authority to assign winners and losers based on whatever criteria they have. So, folks, I know you guilty white people feel guilty about the Indians, the poor Indian tribes, but there are Indians that are thriving in America off the reservation and off the casinos. They're thriving because they're independent, hardworking people like all of us. Do the work, and hard work works. Let's build an America where the government does not see race when they look at you, or your gender, or your religious beliefs. When they look at you, the state should see a sovereign citizen prepared to defend themselves and govern the governor. We should be governing the government. Let's stop this nonsense. Do not let the government try to discriminate against you and who you're doing, what you're doing. This is Mason. Got any comments? Email me, mason@leavetheplantation.org or masonweaver@masonweaver.com. We're going to start doing a broadcast at the beginning of the year on a regular basis, but I want you to just think about this for a second. because there's a lot of things going on that we do not have any control over. But this one, buddy, we have control over it. I guarantee you this topic will be on the ballot in Florida. They're going to try to tell us how wonderful it is to have control of the dollars coming in from gambling. You have no control. The Seminole Indians have control, and they agreed to pay us $3.5 billion. What would happen? Think about it, folks. If they're a sovereign nation, what would happen if they decide not to pay the taxes? Think about what would happen if they say, "I'm not paying these taxes. We're a sovereign nation. Are we going to march in with the National Guard? We're going to march in with the Sheriff Department. We're going to stop you from gambling. They're going to stop you from because they know it is only a money-making thing for you, for them. They know it's not going to. They know there is no government on the reservations. They're just counselors that kind of give advice. But the government of state of Florida runs the government on the reservations, the same way the government in California runs in their reservations. That's what happens, folks. To stop the nonsense, stop your government from being prejudiced, stop them from being racially profiling, stop them from allowing people to pay to play and get back our freedom. Stay right or be left, because eternity is a long time to be wrong. Free